rural to suburban churches? Well, let me explain. So, because of the expansion of where people live into the more rural parts outside of the cities in these major cities across the United States and across the world, the suburbanization of those areas and the developing of the areas that were once farmland and forests that were not well inhabited, which are now incredibly well inhabited because of the way in which the population has shifted. It has changed the way in which the churches in those areas do ministry. Because there was an article that I was reading from the Delaware Gazette in Delaware County, Ohio, that talks about how, again, and this article is written in 2024, and it talks about how these churches in that area have had to change the way that they do the ministry to, instead of ministering to more rural people. And the funny part was that they're changing from Folgers coffee to now ethically traded coffee for coffee hours at the church services, after church services, and they're changing the way that they do worship. That's the same thing across the country. It's not just a monolith for Delaware County, Ohio. It's also in my beloved upstate New York. And there are plenty of places in which the church, because of this rapid expansion into these areas that were once farmland and forested areas, the church is really rethinking how it does ministry to these people. And it's so interesting to think about how, again, over the last 30, 40, 50 years, that the church has really had to change the way it does ministry, especially in those more suburban areas, to minister to the needs of the people who live in these suburban areas. Instead of ministering to more rural people, they're now ministering to much more well-off financially people, and people who have differing needs and differing interests in what they want the church to do. So, yeah, that's a little bit about how the church has changed because of the shift from rural areas outside the major metropolitan areas to being more suburban. So, peace and blessings, y'all.